in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East. New Hampshire is the last time a Sunoco Rookie of the Year candidate won a Sprint Cup Series race with Joey Logano in 2009. Tell us about your outlook for this weekend.
Yeah, I always kind of like coming to New Hampshire. It's a pretty neat racetrack. It's the only one on the circuit that's quite like this, and reminds me a little bit of IRP in Indiana. So I enjoy it somewhat. And we got to come here and test a few weeks ago, and I thought that went pretty well. We learned a lot of stuff, and then we learned even some things at Richmond the other day that I think might help us here too. So excited to get on the track for practice and hoping for good things this weekend because we've had some bad luck the last 3 weeks. So we got to get back to finishing races and get back up in the points because now we've fallen out of the chase.
All right, we'll open up for questions. Just raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you. State your name and affiliation. Any questions for Kyle? Start back there with Rich.
Rich Thompson, Boston Could you just be a little more specific on how you tested?
I don't know. It went pretty good, I guess. We were here with the Hendrick cars, and I thought they were a little bit better than us. But their midway point of the test, I thought we were pretty good, and then we just kept testing different things and slowed down a little bit. In the conditions, that day were a lot cooler than what they will be this weekend. So hard to judge off that, but I thought it was a decent test. Anytime you test, you're learning a lot. So it was good to get here to New Hampshire, a place where I haven't raced the Cup car yet, and get some laps.
Nate?
Nate Ryan, USA Today Sports. Kyle, there were, I think, 4 teams that tested. There was Ganassi, Hendrick, Waltrip, Childress, all teams that were looking at, I think, getting drivers into the chase. Do you think the strategy there, or maybe the Ganassi perspective, was it that if you test, maybe this is a place where you or Jamie could get that win that could get you in the chase? Or
I don't know. I think I don't know if they struggled here last year is why they came or what, but and I don't seem to do particularly well on short tracks or tracks you have to use a lot of braking. So I think that might be a reason we came here. And I don't know. I don't know if there's any strategy for the chase to come here and test or not.
So you guys didn't really discuss that. I mean, you only get 4, so I figured you guys might be.
I'm sure when you only get 4, any test they use is to get yourself in a better position for the chase. So yeah, I mean, I would say so. Then I don't know.
Do you feel better? I mean, knowing that you haven't run here in Cup, obviously. Does that give you some confidence in terms of like looking at now that maybe you could be a factor on Sunday?
Yeah, I think so. I feel like anytime we've gone to a track to test, we usually race pretty good. At Pocono, we went there and tested and ran 5th. Not quite sure where else we tested, but and then you look at last year, they tested at Dover and almost won that. So anytime you go to test somewhere, you gain some confidence going back because your car's going to be better than had you not spent 300 laps on the track already. And I know the team loves testing because they get to learn as much as they can, and it always helps them at other racetracks too. So, and like I said, I think we learned a lot at Richmond. Probably that'll help us here too. So, I'm definitely excited because I think our car will be pretty fast.
Go to Vince.
Vince Welch, ESPN. What is your perception as we approach kind of the crunch time in relation to the chase of where you stand and what your chances are in these final races leading up to the cutoff?
Our chances were really good up until 3 weeks ago, and then we lost power steering at Sonoma and finished in the high 20s, and then Kentucky we were pretty fast and blew a right front tire, and then at Daytona we just got caught up in a typical Daytona crash and got a 36th place finish or something like that. So I think we went from being tied to 7th to 18th in points over 3 weeks. So it was looking great up until now, but it makes you stress out a little bit just because each week gets closer and closer to chase, and now we've fallen to where we have to fight really hard again. So it makes it nerve-wracking, but we're all pretty close. I think there's 6 or so guys that are pretty close in points. So just have to have a couple good runs and hopefully get back up there. And it'd be nice to get a win soon for sure.
Mark Garrow, PRN. Just first to follow up on that, you got off to such a strong start for a rookie. Maybe not a typical start for a rookie. how humbling has it been all of a sudden to have these 3 weeks in a row that just, you know, you go from a high to about as low as you can get?
Yeah, I knew at some point with how well we were running. I mean, everybody's going to run into some bad luck. I was just hoping it wouldn't be 3 weeks in a row worth of bad luck. You know, I figured you may have some bad luck, you know, 1 week or 2 weeks in a row, not 3. So it makes you stressed out coming here to New Hampshire, hoping that you get a good finish, because you can't have 4 bad finishes in a row. But yeah, I mean, I understand the whole luck factor, so it was humbling, but didn't surprise me.
As far as the Rookie of the Year battle, it seems like you and Austin have sort of had 2 different strategies. You guys started out much faster, a little more spectacular. He's been kind of plodding along. They've been getting slowly but steadily stronger. You've had this big drop-off in the last 3 weeks. How do you view that race right now?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've been a little bit stronger than Austin most weeks, so I think once we get back to finishing some races, hopefully we can pad in that gap between him and myself in the rookie points. I'm not really even sure how the whole rookie thing works. I don't know if they base it off points or votes or what. Yeah, so hopefully we have a big gap in points. But yeah, I mean, it sucks. You know, the last 3 weeks I think he's been the highest finishing rookie. But yeah, I feel like our stats have been a little bit better than his so far this season. So just got to keep sticking with it and trying to set it as a goal to beat him every weekend, as well as get top 10s.
Got Jason King from WMUR. Can you just talk about how do you like the new qualifying format, maybe considering a track like this where position is so important?
Yeah, I like the new qualifying format. It seems, too, that, I mean, you don't have people. It's not like there's a ton of cars out on the track at one time. It's not like all 43 of us are out on the track at the same time qualifying. We kind of all respect each other, and maybe there's 5 or 6 cars out at a time, and you're evenly spaced, so you're not getting messed up by the guy in front of you. Where the qualifying format sucks is the super speedways, where I mean, you got to have a bunch of buddies or get lucky, and then in the, I guess even in the Cup Series, nobody wants to be the lead pack because everybody's getting a draft after you. So we're just like last week, we saw we roll around there at 20 mile an hour. That makes it really frustrating and probably not fun for the fans either. So it'd be nice if they could tweak the super speedway qualifying format a little bit, but I've enjoyed it everywhere else.
And generally speaking, how do you do or like flat tracks like this?
I would say they're probably my biggest weakness. I don't know. I feel like I've struggled at most flat tracks. You have to use a lot of braking. Phoenix, Martinsville, Richmond, and here last year in the Nationwide Series. So that's definitely a style of track I got to get better at, and I'm sure that'll come with time. It's a lot different than kind of what or the style of racing I grew up doing, where nothing I ever did, you were hard on the brakes, almost coming to a stop and making a U-turn and going the other way. So I think that's why I've struggled so far on flat tracks.